data? Tell business which is the best vendor, which is the best product. Not difficult, right? So 15,000 records are there, too many columns are there. How can I come to a conclusion? Don't worry, okay? So whenever you want to go and get a summary report in Excel, simply keep your cursor in the pivot table. Keep near data. Keep your cursor where? Na? Keep your cursor on the data. Go to the insert option. Now, what do you want to insert? Do you want to insert tables, illustrations, charts, spark lines, filters, links? No. I just want to summarize this particular table. I simply want to tell my business which is the best vendor. That means I have to summarize. Now, whenever you want to summarize data in Excel, that is pivot table. Since you're learning SQL, whenever you want to summarize data in SQL, that is with the help of group by clause. Okay. So whatever group by is doing in Excel, in SQL, the same thing is done by pivot table in Excel. Do you get me, guys? Everybody, you will learn this in the next session, or you may have learned. So whenever you want to summarize data in Excel, what will you do? Insert a pivot table. Whenever you want to summarize data in SQL, simply go and call the group by clause. Since we are doing in Excel, we'll go and call the pivot table. So what is pivot table? Easy way to arrange and summarize data. So I'll simply click on this drop box, okay? In this pop-up box. So pop-up box is asking me, okay, fine, sure, I'll definitely help you to summarize data. But tell me, is it from a table or range, or is it from an external data source? You tell me. Do you want to summarize the information from a table or from a range or from an external data source? It's from a
Table.
Very good, table. We don't have any external data source. Now it's from the table that we created. Now the moment I do so, pop-up is again coming and asking me, just cross-checking, okay? They're asking me, guys, you have requested for a summary report for a table or a range. In our case, it's a range, okay? And the range is present in which sheet? The range is present in the sheet known as data model output. And what is the value? It is from A1 to AB15215. Coming with what reference? Absolute reference by rows and column. They're asking me, would you like to have the summary report in a new sheet or existing sheet? That's your choice, okay? Both the ways it is good. I'll go with the existing sheet for the simple reason that I'm having space, no other reason, okay? I'm going with the existing sheet because I'm having space. But it is mandatory that if you choose the existing worksheet, you have to go and choose a blank location. So I'm telling, please insert the summary report in the data model output in the sheet known as AG4. So they're asking me, do we have multiple tables for the analysis? Tell me, do we have multiple tables for the analysis, or we are having only one table for the analysis?
One table for that.
Perfect. So don't choose this. Simply neglect this. Simply click OK. The moment you click OK, what can you see now? You can see a box coming on the extreme right hand side. Did you see a box coming on the extreme right hand side, guys? This one. This is known as my pivot table. So what is pivot table? Pivot table is a way of summarizing the data. Now, how can you summarize data in a pivot table? With the help of pivot table objects. Pivot table objects means what? Those things in the pivot table. So what are the things available in the pivot table? Let us go and find it out. Shall we? Yes. Shall we go and find it out? There with me? Make some noise there with me. Perfect. So what's the first pivot table object? Let me write it for you. What are we learning? We are learning the pivot table objects. Now tell me why pivot tables are important in analysis. Tell me why pivot tables are important in analysis. What's the use of
Summarize
pivot?
the data.
Very good. Pivot tables are used for summarize data. So whatever group by clause that does in SQL, the same thing is done by pivot table in your Excel environment. Now the pivot table contains pivot table objects. What are the pivot table objects? Let's start with the first pivot table object. The first pivot table object is known as the pivot field list. What is it known as? The pivot field list. Now where is pivot field list? These are your pivot field list, okay? So what are they? Basically, they are the headers of your data. So what is pivot field list now? Pivot field list means the headers of your data. Understood, guys? What are they known as? They are basically the headers of the table. What are they basically? They are basically the headers of the table. Keep this in mind. Once you learn it, I'll go to the next table object. Shall I go? Shall I go? Thanks.
Yes,
Perfect. Now the second field object is known as your row level. You can call it as rows, or you can simply go and call it as the row level or rows. The third is known as the column level. The third is known as what? The third is known as the column level. The fourth is known as your I'll write it as E values, but kindly read it as sigma values, okay? Sigma values. I'm writing it as E values, but you have to read it as sigma values. Finally, the fifth one, they are known as the filters. So we're having 5 objects. Let's understand them in detail, okay? Field as you understood. What is row level? Anything that is kept here is known as your row level. What is column level? Anything that is kept here is known as the column level. What are filters? Anything that is kept in this funnel shaped icon is known as filters. Now, what are sigma values? Anything that is kept in sigma, this column is known as sigma values. Understood, guys? Everybody clear? Guys, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's your turn, okay? Tell me what is this? What is this?
Sigma value.
Perfect. Now tell me what is this?
Filter.
Very good. Now tell me what is this?
Column.
Column level. Tell me what is this?
Rows.
Very good. Tell me what is this?
Search bar.
Field list, okay? Field list of headers. Is it clear, everybody, the pivot table objects? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, okay?
Yes,
Now, the field list object is understood. Then we have to understand how to keep the values. Now, people may ask you, shall we go and keep these values here and there? No, it has to be kept in an order. For that, what should I do? I'll have to identify. What is my objective? My objective is to summarize data. So whenever I want to summarize data, the first thing I have to do is I'll have to identify the dimensions and measures. Let us go and write it as step 1. Okay. My objective is summarize data. And for summarizing the data, what's the first step? I'll have to identify dimensions and measures. Dimensions and measures. Now, what are dimensions and measures? Let us check it out. Okay. Now for that, let's start with dimensions. We'll start with what? We'll start with dimensions. I'll give you a simple definition for dimensions, okay? We can call them as dimensions, but you can also go and call them as dimension field. Dimension field is more correct, okay? Dimensions is also okay, but let's try to go and call them as dimension field. Now the question is, the data given to you, which of these data are dimension field? Let us understand this way. A dimension field is a field which can help you to summarize data. What's a dimension field? Dimension field can help us in summarizing the data. Dimension field can also help us in categorizing the data. Dimension field can help us in summarizing the data. Dimension field can help us in categorizing the data. The dimension field also help us to reveal details of the data. So summarize data, categorize data, reveal details. Anything of these sort happens, what will you call it? Call it as a dimension field. Now will you remember, guys? Clear what is the dimension field? Okay. Make some noise. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Now let's go to the measures. If dimensions are known as dimension field, then what is measures? Now, measures are known as measure. Measures are known as measure fields. Okay. If dimensions are dimension field, then what are measures? Measures are measure field. Now,
Yes,
how
ma'am.
will I trace out a measure field? The first is measure fields are always numbers or numeric in nature. Whenever some information is numeric in nature, what are they to us? They are measure
Measure.
fields. Now, why are they known as measure fields? They're known as measure fields simply because we can measure them. Okay. Or what it means, we can quantify them. Quantify means we can take a sum of them, we can take a minimum of them, we can take an average of them, we can take a standard deviation of them, we can quantify them. Okay. So whenever things can be quantified or measured, what are they? They are the measure fields. Basically, they are numeric informations. Now, will you be able to identify the measures and the dimensions, guys, everybody? Will you be able to? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in that case, shall I give you a challenge? Shall we try it? Shall we try?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
let me go and take the headers out here. Okay, so I'll take the headers, control shift, right arrow, no down arrow. I'll just need the headers now, just right there. Let me try it one more time. Keep your cursor on the first cell, that is A1 to me. I'll go with control shift, right arrow. Don't drag your cursor across the mouse. Okay, it's not a good choice. Every time you'll have to buy new mouse. Don't do it, okay? So I have selected the values. Let me keep it over here. I'll keep it right click. I'll go with paste special. I'll go and take the values. Let me transpose them and click OK. What are these? These are my headers. Well, okay, shall I call them as headers? I'll do one thing. For your understanding, I'm going to take record one, okay? Let me go and take this record one. Let me also go and take one more record. How will I take the records? The same procedure. Put the data model output. I want some information. I want some records. First record, okay? How will I take the first record? Control Shift, right arrow, copy this Control C. Where do you want to keep it now? Let me keep it in this particular column. I'll go with the right click, go with the paste special. Didn't I copy them? Let me see if I even copy them or not. I haven't copied them. Control C, okay. So Control Shift, right arrow, Control C, copy them. Let us keep it over here. And let's go and take the records out here. Right click, paste special. Go and take the values, transpose them and click OK. Let me go and take one more record for you, just for your understanding, okay? Let's go and take the second record. Keep your cursor, Control Shift, right arrow, copy this Control C. Where do you want to keep it? I want to keep it here in my record to right click, request a paste special, take the values, transpose them and click OK. Now you have got record and record 2. Now from this record and record 1 and record 2, will you be able to identify the data type? Data type simply means are they numeric values or are they character values, left align or right align? Will you be able to? Guys, will you
Yes,
be
ma'am.
able to? Perfect. Now, based on this data type, you have to identify where the given field is a dimension field or the given data is what now? Is a measure underscore field type. Let us first try with getting the data type, okay? Data type, we are only having two data types in your Excel environment. Can you tell me what are they? We are having only
Correct.
very good characters and I'll give all
Numeric.
numbers. Okay. We are having two types of data type, which are they? Characters and numbers. What are characters now? All the values that are right aligned are what to me? Right aligned are right
Numeric.
Numeric.
numeric values and all that are left aligned as character values. Perfect.
Character value.
Now let's start with order ID. What is order ID to me now? Order ID.
Order.
Green looks good. I'll go with green color. Okay. Huh. Order ID is number.
Numeric.
Number is numeric. So what is the data type? It's numeric in nature. Done. Perfect. Now, with this numeric data type, assume that I'm going to take a count of orders. How many orders did I get? Okay, how many maximum orders did I get? In that case, tell me, I'm going to take a count of order ID. Order ID can be taken as a dimension field or a measure field.
Measure field.
We can quantify. Anything that is quantified is what to be measure field. Will you agree?
Yes,
Will you
ma'am.
agree? Perfect. Understood? Let's go to the next one. Order date not coming in a right format. How will I format it? Control 1. With what category? Date. Simply click OK. I can give you the same format for what? Na registration date. Now tell me, what is order date? Right aligned or left aligned?
Right. Numeric.
Very good. It's numeric in nature, but can we add these two numbers? It's numeric in nature, that's true, but can I add two dates? Can I multiply two dates? Can I take the average of two dates? Can I?
No.
Perfect, okay. So even though they are numeric in nature, what information are they conveying? They're conveying the daytime
Date time.
information. Perfect. And daytime informations cannot be multiplied or subtracted. So what are they? They are dimension fields or measure fields? They are
Dimension field.
Diamond.
perfect. So let us go and call them as time dimension. Why are they are numbers obviously, but they are dimensions. Why? Because we cannot quantify them. Did you understand that clearly, guys? Everybody, is it very clear to you? Very important. Done. Okay, I'll repeat this. Now tell me 2016, 2019, they are right line. So they are numbers. Shall I multiply these two numbers? Shall I subtract these two numbers? Shall I take the average of these two numbers? No, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what are they? They are numeric in nature. They're date time. So what are they? They are the time dimensions. Clear, guys, everybody? Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Perfect.
ma'am.
December and April, what are they? They are left aligned. Any left aligned values are what to be? They are characters. Now, with these characters, can we multiply them? Can we subtract them? Can we quantify them? No, we cannot. But we can get some details. Whenever we get details, what are they? They are known as the. They are known as what? No, they are known as the dimension field. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now tell me about order year month. Order year is what data type? They are known as
Date time.
perfect. If it is numeric, then what's the date the type? They are
Type
time.
time.
Perfect. Now V129, Erwin, email ID, all these things. They are all what now? All of them are left aligned. So left aligned values are what to us now? Left aligned values are
Dimension field.
very good. Left aligned values are characters to us. Okay. Done. Left aligned values are what to us? Left aligned values are characters to us. Just 1 second.
ମମିନା ଦି କଣଟା ଜଳୁଛି?
Guys, please go on mute in the backend, please. So characters are what to me? Characters are dimensions to me, okay? Clear? Perfect. Now tell me about this registration date. It's numeric in nature, but what are they? Daytime. Daytime informations go with what? Daytime informations go with what are these? Daytime informations go with the tide dimension. Perfect. Now tell me about this, guys. Tell me about this one, the next one, age of relationship. It's a numerical value. Even though it's numerical value, we cannot go with any analysis. That they are what? Numeric information. So let us go and call them as what? Time dimension. The age of relationship bucket and phone number. Both of them are left aligned. Any information that is left aligned and what to us, we'll simply go and consider them as characters. The characters can be used for getting quantified information or simply getting some analysis summary report. They simply give the analysis report or summary report their dimension field. So what about this phone number? Is this numeric or is this character? That is right aligned.
Numeric.
Very good. Even though that's numeric, can I go and take this for any calculation, multiply, division, subtraction? I cannot.
No.
So they are what now? Measure or dimension? Measure or dimension?
Make dimension.
Guys, measure or dimension? Phone number new.
Dimension.
Dimension.
We can subtract them now. Tell me TS, Texas, Spring, T2, jeans, clothing, jeans, everything. All of them are what? Left aligned.
Dimension.
Very good. Left aligned values are what to us basically? The data type is character. Since they're character, what are they to me now? They are the dimension fields. Now coming to the maximum retail price to the revenue. All of these are what value now? All of them are numerical values. And numerical values are what to us? They help us in
Measure
quantifying.
fields.
Very good. Measure fields are also known as what now? Quantifying. They help us in doing some calculations. So they are measure fields. Now, is it very clear to guys how to understand a measure field and a dimension field? Is it clear? Guys,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
it perfect? Now just 1 second.
Yes.
Perfect. So we are trying to summarize the data. For summarizing the data, what's the first step? Identify the dimensions and measures that we understood. What are dimensions? What are measures we understood? What's the next step now? Whenever we have understood the dimensions and measures, the next step is we have to go and keep these values in the pivot table objects. Now tell me what are the pivot table objects, guys? We're having 5 pivot table objects, okay? So we have to keep these values after inserting a pivot table. So once the dimensions and measures are understood, the next step is insert the summary. How will I get the summary in pivot table? I'll get the summary in the Excel environment by inserting what? Inserting a pivot table. That's the next step, okay? So once I understood the dimensions and measures, what's the next step of analysis in summarizing our data? Insert the pivot table. Once I insert the pivot table, what do we have? Inside the pivot table, I'll be having the pivot table objects. What are the pivot table objects? The pivot table objects are field list, row level, column level, sigma values, and filters. Now, for getting the summary report, I'll have to keep the values in any of these pivot table objects. Let's do one thing. I'll do a simple analysis, okay? Let's write a question over here. The business question is going this way. Business question is asking me, could you please go and tell me which of these categories the best, or category wise revenue? What do we need? We need the category wise revenue. This is my objective, okay? So what's the objective? Our objective is like we have to go and get the category wise revenue. Are you there with me, guys? Everybody? Category wise revenue, we have to go and find it out. In this category wise revenue, you being a data scientist, what's your first objective? Your first objective is to go and identify the dimensions and measures. What's the business question? Business question is category wise revenue. Tell me in category-wise revenue, what is your dimension field? What is your measure field? Business question is category-wise revenue. What is your dimension? What's your measure?
Category dimension revenue.
Perfect. Category is your dimension. And what is your measure? Measure is your revenue. Will you agree? Did you understand? Guys, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, okay. Now, where will you keep the dimensions? You can keep your dimensions in rows, okay? You can keep your dimensions in your rows. You can also then keep your dimensions in columns. There is no restriction that you should keep the dimension only in rows. You can keep them in rows, you can keep them in columns, okay? So let us go and call this as your case 1 and let us go and consider this as your case 2. Going further, we'll go and find out which is the best case, okay? Revenue. What is revenue to you? That's a numeric field. You don't have any choice for numeric fields, okay? By default, you'll have to keep it there. You'll have to keep it in the sigma values. Understood? Dimensions you can keep either in the rows or columns, but the measures has to go where, na? Has to go in the sigma values. Are you there with me? Understood? Guys, understood? Okay, let me insert a pivot table one more time for you, okay? I'll delete this pivot table simply because I want to show you one more time how to insert a pivot table, okay? So let's go and keep your cursor on the data. Now you tell me how to insert a pivot table. My objective is to insert a summary report. You will tell me and I'll do it. Keep your cursor on the data, keep your cursor on the data, I'm waiting. Keep your cursor on the data, go to which option? Insert option, okay? Perfect. In insert option, what are we trying to insert? A summary report. And the summary report in Excel comes with the help of table. Shall we go with table range or external data source? We go with the pop-up is asking me, shall we go and insert this in a new working sheet or existing working sheet? We'll go with existing. Why? Simply because we are having space. So I'll have to go and give a blank location. Do we have multiple tables? No, we don't have multiple tables. So to ignore this option, simply click OK. Now let's try. Now what is category to me? Category is a dimension. So I can keep it where? I can keep it in the rows or I can keep it in the columns. You'll try both, okay? So where is category? I'm having category. I'm having category name. So I'll go with what? Na? Category name. So let me drag and drop it over here. You can either drag and drop or you can simply check these boxes. Okay? You can either drag and drop or you can check these boxes. I always drag and drop. Okay? So how many categories are there? The 15,000 records fall into how many categories? 7 categories. All okay? Guys, all okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What is revenue? Revenue is a numerical value. By default, numerical values goes where? Numerical values goes to the sigma values. So let me go and keep this revenue where? In the sigma value. The moment you keep anything in sigma value, you'll get a sum aggregated value. And the aggregated value will be always by default to sum. So what are you getting? You are getting the total revenue. The sum of revenue can be also called as what? No? You can also go and call this as the total revenue. Are you there with me, guys, everybody? This is my case 1. What is my case 1? In case 1, the category is kept in rows and the sigma values, it contains the revenue. All okay? Guys, all okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Now the same thing, I'll simply copy this pivot table. Okay, how will you copy this pivot table? Control C. Let me keep it somewhere around here. Just go with Control V. Now this time, what will I do? In the first case, I've kept the category into the rows. Now this time, I'll go and keep the category into the columns. Okay. Any change? Did it make any change in the value? Did it make any change in the value?
No,
Values are the same. Okay. The only change happened is regarding the presentation. Tell me which presentation is good. Case 1 presentation is good or case 2 presentation is good?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. So even though I can keep the dimensions in rows and column, which is better now. It is better to go and start with what? It is better to start with the rows. Did we prove that, guys? It is better to start with the rows. Did you understand why not columns? Clear? Because in business, we always look for better presentations. No? So always start with your rows. Clear? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Let's go with another question. Okay. So this time they're asking me. Okay. So what did we do now? We understood what? Let me just revise one more time, just for your understanding. What is the first thing that we do? We have identified what? We have identified to find what? We have identified what? We have identified a measure underscore field. We also understood how to identify a dimension underscore field. There's any doubt in these in this one? Guys,
No, ma'am.
perfect. So this is done. Now, after identify the dimensions and measures, we understood how to summarize data. Tell me how to summarize data.
By using pivot table.
Very good. Do you have any doubt in inserting pivot table?
No, ma'am.
Very good. While inserting the pivot table, how will I begin with? While inserting a pivot table, how will I begin with? With rows or columns?
So,
In a pivot table, where will I keep the measure values? In a pivot table, where will I keep the measure values, the numbers? By default
summation.
in E values or sigma
Summation.
values. The numbers are by default kept where? The numbers are by default kept in the sigma values. Let's do one more example. Okay. This time, the analysis goes this way. Imagine that business is asking you, could you please go and do an analysis where you have to include the category. Along with the category, they're asking category wise, product wise. Okay. Category wise, product wise revenue. Category wise, product wise revenue. Now let's go with this first step. What's your first step now? The first step is identify dimensions and measures, right? So in this particular question, what is your dimension? What is your measure? What's your dimension? What is your measure? What's your dimension? What's your measure? In this question, what is the dimension? What's your measure? Na?
Category and product are the dimensions and the revenue is the measure.
Perfect. Do you have one dimension field or you're having two dimension field?
2 dimensions.
Okay, which are they?
Category and product.
Perfect. So let's go and call this as your dimension underscore field 1. And what's the next one? That is dimension underscore field 2. What's the dimension field 1? Dimension 1 field 1 is category. What's the dimension field 2? That is product. Now what's the next field we have to identify? That is my measure underscore field. What's a measure field over here? Measure field is a numerical value. And what's the numerical value over here? Revenue. Now that's the first step. What's my second step? We have to insert a summary report. Now how will you insert summary report in Excel? You insert summary report in Excel by inserting what? By inserting a pivot table. Now how to insert pivot table, you know. Let's try that, okay? So what should you insert? Insert pivot table. While inserting the pivot table, what will you do? You have to use the pivot table objects. In pivot table objects, where will you keep the dimensions? Now, we understood that dimensions are basically kept where? Let's go and take some multiple cases. This is case 1. Let us go and take it as case 2 and case 3. In case 1, let us assume that we are starting with the rows. Where will you keep the category? In rows. And product? Since rows are taken, shall I go and keep this in the columns? All okay? Guys, all okay? There's also another possibility, na? I can keep both of them into the rows. Will you agree? I can also go and take this category where I'll keep the category into the columns. I'll go and keep the product into the rows. So 3 cases are possible. I don't know which is the best one, but 3 possibilities are there. Do you agree? Guys, do you agree?
Yes.
Good. Revenue by default goes where? There is no choice. It has to definitely go to the sigma values. Done, no? By default, where it has to go? It has to go to the sigma values. So let us try this. So you are trying to insert a pivot table. You will tell me and I will do it. Okay. Keep your cursor on the data. Go to insert. Pivot table.
From table range.
Perfect. Okay.
Location. You have to
Choose a blank location. Yes, done. This is my blank location. Click.
okay.
Now let's try with the first case. Okay, category where now. Let me go and keep the category name where into the rows. So how many categories are there? 5 categories are there. I'm having product ID, product name. Which one do you want to choose? If you're having a confusion, come back to the data. So this is the product ID. This is the product ID. This is the product. This is the product name. Which one do you want to choose? Definitely not product because it is having category. So product ID or product name?
Product name.
Product name.
You want to go with the product name. Perfect. So let me go and take the product name. Where shall I keep it? I'll go and keep that in the columns. So how many products are there? 52 products are there. Okay. Now for this product and category, what do you need? Revenue. Where will you keep revenue?
Sigma values.
Perfect. Now see, since you're having 52 product, your table is going from left to right. Can you see this? Perfect. Okay. So the case one, does it look good? Does it look good? Perfect. Very good. Now see both in rows. Let's make a try. Both of them in rows. Let's make a try. Okay. So both in the rows. Is it looking good? Somewhat okay. Because it is going from top to bottom, I can simply drag my cursor. I'm able to read it. Okay. Let me keep it as better. Okay. Done. Guys, done. Let me go to the next case, case 3. In case 3, what am I trying? I want to keep the product name into the rows and the category name into the columns. Tell me out of these 3 cases, which is the best one?
Case 2, ma'am.
Case 2 is better. So what about case 3?
3.
Case 3 is best, na? Because I know what is the category which backpack belongs to. The previous one it is a little bit confusing, na? Guys, it's your choice, okay? Whatever you feel confident, go with that. It's not written rule that you should go with this, okay? Either go with case 2 or you go with case 3, but not with case 1, okay? I'll tell you an easier way. Whenever you're keeping your values in the pivot table, always keep more values into the rows. Now, how many categories are there for you? How many categories are there for you?
5.
How many categories are there for you? You're having 5 categories. Okay. Now, how many products are there for you? How many products are there for you? You're having a total of 52 products. So whichever is more in number, keep that in the rows. Why? Because it is easy to move from top to bottom or left to right. It is easy to move from top to bottom. So whatever is more in number, keep it where? Keep it in the rows. Whatever is less in number, keep that in the columns. Did you get me, guys, everybody? Guys, did you get me? So what will I keep into the rows? More in number. With respect to product and category, which is more in number? Product is more in number, so I'll keep that in the rows. Which is less in number? Category. Where shall I keep it? I'll keep that in the columns. This is the best approach to create a pivot table. Did you understand this, guys, everybody? Clear? Is clear?
Yes, ma'am.